Generally speaking, I would describe gaming as an unpretentious medium, as most story-driven games are too busy wearing their hearts on their sleeves to be considered pretentious. This is something of a disappointment for me, because I love pretentious things. Absolutely adore them. I find that people who are a little too confident in what they're trying to say will often find fascinating ways to say them. If that fascinating element happens to also come with a little bit of ego stroking, then so be it. And let me tell you, Disco Elysium has all of the pretentious flair of a 1970s rock opera. You cannot possibly convince me that evil apes duking it out on a giant ball was a sentence written by someone who didn't think they were being at least a little bit clever while doing so. Nor can you convince me that Disco Elysium isn't all the better for it. Disco Elysium is a pioneer in the field of pretentious video games, and more games ought to follow in its example. Disco Elysium is also home to some absolutely stellar world building. The murder mystery the game ostensibly focuses on is less so the game's main concern, and more so an excuse for the game to explore various socio-political ideas through the characters involved in and the events leading up to the murder. The way the game then takes these real-world political ideologies and seamlessly weaves them into the context of its fictional world's history is a sight to behold. I can't claim to have fully picked up on everything, but I know strong commentary when I see it. Unfortunately, it is that strong world-building and political commentary that leads me to my main complaint regarding Disco Elysium, which is that it isn't always clear to me how exactly my choices impacted the narrative. The game opens with a large array of stats to distribute points between, and seems to put emphasis on role-playing Harry how you think he should act, but apart from a couple of thoughts and quests exclusive to the Final Cut version of the game, it never really felt like the way I chose to roleplay Harry had a massive impact on the world itself. I don't have a problem with linearity in concept, but when you try to present linearity as non-linearity, it becomes harder for me to fully immerse myself. I respect the game's commitment to basically being a visual novel in the most literal sense of the term, but in this case, I don't think it would have hurt too much to lean more into its gamier elements and include like an alignment meter or something. Also, and these technical complaints don't actually affect my opinion on the game itself, but they do need to be mentioned, the Switch port of this game is extremely unpolished. Incorrect voice lines will occasionally load in, the audio quality of said voice lines are all over the place, and to top it all off, my game softlocked a solid 3 or 4 times and crashed to the home screen another 3 times on top of that. This is not a graphically intensive game. It really should not run this poorly. As usual, here is the updated list of the year's rankings, and normally I don't like to plug things at the end of my videos, but I just posted a video essay / character study of Shoka Sakurane from Neo The World Ends With You, and it didn't do quite as well as I was hoping for, so I'm just going to plug it at the end here. I worked really hard on the script. I think it came out pretty well, so if you're interested, I would recommend checking that out, and it's probably linked on the end screen here, so, you know, there it is, it's right there. I will see you all next month.